Have we been live?
Yeah, okay. We are live. Hello and welcome to Talk Chef. I'm one of your hosts, Radika.
I'm your other host, Jordan.
And today we have a very special guest, the wonderful, talented comedy writer, Bitzegaio.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
We think you're a hoot, and we thought you'd be so fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, let me ask you, Caitlin, are you a cooking show fan? Because I've talked with you about cooking shows, specifically on your podcast.
Yes, I do host a podcast called We Stand Together, which is about all things that fun and we be standing. I'm an old school fan of just, what was on in the mid 90s, such as Yan Can Cook, The Frugal Gourmet,
yes.
And of course, Iron Chef.
Yes. Iron Chef, the original, or Iron Chef America?
Iron Chef, the original Iron Chef.
Yeah,
yes.
Great. Okay.
We're talking Prince of Pasta. We're talking,
Yeah,
absolutely. I love that. I also do want to point out that you have written for a Bravo TV show. You wrote for Project Runway.
Correct.
And I would say you were also a reality TV savant. Yes.
Yes.
Genius.
Thank you. Yes. I was a writer for Project Runway, and Jordan was a guest on the episode of our podcast where we talked about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. So I feel like, I'm right at home where I've always meant to be here at this podcast, this live stream.
Bravo themed show.
Yeah, Bravo is home.
So we love that. Before we dive into this episode, a couple orders of business.
Can I kick off with something really exciting, Rika?
Oh my God. Is it the thing I think it is?
It's exactly the thing you think it is.
Okay.
Is that
first
okay?
Is what Jordan's about to say. Let's go.
Okay. Our first order of business is I'm going to tell y'all exactly how much money you raised for the Haitian Bridge Alliance. It is so exciting. Reka sent me a graphic of it. I'm desperately trying to find it right now. It's so much money, you literally won't even be able to believe it. Are you ready? We raised and donated $1,108.85.
Wow.
Fucking yeah.
Congratulations to the chat.
I'm shaken to my core. It's truly unbelievable. And we just want to thank you so much. I mean, at this point, we've probably raised, I would say, over $5,000 for different charities. Reka, would you agree?
I was going to say 4, but I like your bet number.
Who's going to get mad at me for saying 5? I think it might be 5.
Come at us if you hate both of our answers.
Yeah.
In the chat. Regardless, truly incredible from one night of fundraising. Thank you guys so
That's amazing.
much.
Congrats.
We're so grateful for you. And we're going to do that shit again. This is going to leapfrog right into order of business 2, which is, you guys know this is a food charity-based live stream.
You do.
And you know what? This season is going to be exactly the same as last season, in that we are going to wait till our final episode to do a big, fun fundraiser where we'll do things that are raffles, do things that are auctions, do things that are confusing.
We'll all discover together what is a raffle and what is an auction and how auctions work.
Together. We're just so excited and so thankful for you guys. So really, really thank you so freaking much. And hopefully, if you haven't already received your weird prizes you won, they're mere days away because all of them have been sent out. So thank you.
Wow, that's awesome.
Third order of business, Caitlin, is actually something we didn't tell you, which is that just like every episode of Top Chef has a quick fire.
Oh my gosh.
So it's every episode of Talk Chef, but it doesn't involve cooking. It's 10 questions, all like Caitlin food preference based questions.
Love it.
And here's the catch. It is the fastest quick fire in Top Chef history. It's 45 seconds.
Got it.
45 seconds for 10 questions. And just in case you're doing your typical Caitlin thing where you're like, fuck this, fuck Jordan and Reka, I'm not going to take this seriously, I'm walking.
Yeah.
Right.
We want to tempt you with some prizes. So,
okay.
So one of the prizes you could win is the deed to the Terlato wine vineyard.
Ever heard of it?
The deed. Yes.
Okay. So the Terlato wine vineyard is a mythical vineyard supposedly that makes wine, and this wine vineyard has sponsored several seasons of Top Chef. We're going to sneak up on these seasons pretty soon. Nobody's seen this vineyard. The man who owns it is named like Danny Tortellini or something. And we've talked to some people who've tasted this wine from the show, and they say it is anywhere from not good to okay. Probably
honestly my favorite range.
Yeah, right. My normal mood range is this sort of wine range.
Yes. I also think that this is a huge opportunity because with each episode, I think we inch closer and closer to being sued by Terlato Wines. So, this is a limited time offer. Who knows how long we'll be able to do this bit. You'll be able to get this deed. Yeah. So this is a huge opportunity.
I think this is big for everyone involved.
It's really big. The police are coming because they're like, don't make fun of Toronto.
Oh, wow.
Wow. It's incredible.
Oh my gosh. Andy Cohen is sending
people.
He's at Rika's door with a cop.
Yeah, fuck you. Don't make fun of my brother, Danny. There's one of the prizes you can win. The other prize you could win is your own personal suite of broken GE appliances just in the show. So we're talking an oven that drops temperature, an air fryer that doesn't get up to temperature, a mandolin that slices your whole arm off. All of this stuff could be yours. So
this is enticing.
Yeah. Okay. So now Caitlin's going to take this seriously. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
So Caitlin, I'm going to start this timer for 45 seconds.
With your phone. Oh my gosh.
Do you see it? Okay.
Yeah.
From the moment Jordan finishes asking question 1, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Which Real Housewife would absolutely dominate on Top Chef?
Jennifer from New Jersey.
What does it mean to be a new American restaurant?
Square plates.
Best hot dog topping?
Mustard.
What city has the most difficult customers?
Austin.
Who is meaner, chefs or comedians?
Chefs.
Is Tom Colicchio hot?
Yes.
Do you like food that is simple or creative?
Creative.
What is the best reality TV show?
Below Deck Sailing Yacht.
Desert island food.
Macaroni and cheese.
How great are Jordan and Reka?
Top 10.
You did it! Wow, no one has ever luxuriated in their answers and still finished like you have.
Oh my God. Caitlin, you were so thoughtful. Square plates really got me and Elaine. I think that is
so funny.
I think that might be 50% of the philosophy of a new American restaurant. The other 50% being like sort of creative French fries.
Which no complaints either ways. Love it.
Yeah, my answer would have been quail.
Yeah, my answer would have been God, like appetizers that should be entrees or something. Like, I don't know. Like,
interesting.
Like,
and vice versa, I suppose.
Yeah, like just like mess. It's just, Jordan and I do not like New American. I don't.
We don't. And you know what? I'll say it. We don't even really like Old American.
Uh-oh.
I just think
you told me this wasn't going to be political.
Sorry.
I just don't think your restaurant concept can be that you serve freaking, I don't know. I'm like trying to even think like what the fuck is it? Like meatballs as an appetizer.
For sure. Something breaded. But nothing expected. But
yeah, I don't know. It upsets me. But we don't need to.
But I was about to say like a tuna melt, but no, they would never do a tuna melt.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. And you know what they would do? They would do it with ahi tuna instead of tuna salad. And the bread would be like, I don't know, the bread would be like a truffled brioche or something.
It's really upcharge and
brioche is a pass. And I love ahi tuna, but no, that's not what I mean when I say a tuna melt.
It's like fancy tater tots and like, I don't know. Ugh. Yeah, like a crab cake that's bad. I don't know.
I mean, we'll get into this. We'll get into crab in this app.
We're gonna absolutely. So yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. We love
Okay.
it.
Yeah, Caitlin's segueing us directly into our first bit, which is the quick fire, which they bring an old school, very Italian, very like Staten Island, Long Island woman on who like owns, I guess, the world's first hot dog cart. I'm not exactly sure
I
what her.
It's so confusing how this woman is used, and I have no other verbiage for it
I
than
think
used.
it is. Here's what I think they're saying versus what I think actually happened. They're saying that she has like the most like popular hot dog cart in either all of New York or in Queens.
I have to interject right now. I just refuse to believe that there's any way to calculate the most popular
I agree.
hot dog cart.
I agree, especially, and maybe I'm illiterate because I haven't had a hot dog in a while. They brought in her cart, and that looks like the cart I see everywhere in New York.
Because it's all the same. They all serve soft pretzels that are hard. They serve hot dogs. They serve like canned sodas. And like I'll eat all of it and have eaten all of it. But I'm like, there's just no way to know which one. It's not a restaurant. It's not even like a specialized food cart.
Yes.
No disrespect to hot dog vendors.
None. No, we
I love them. But I'm just like, how were they able to calculate the most popular?
But you're bringing in a lot of issues of why was this woman featured at all, only to not be featured at all. Like she was used as a prop. Like her opinions or her experience were not spoken to whatsoever.
Didn't even taste.
I was gonna say, like, so what I think they said, and now what I think actually happened, because since she didn't get to normally in later seasons, and honestly even earlier seasons, if they're like, this guy is the spaghetti expert, they come in and try your spaghetti and they go, I'm the spaghetti expert and I say good spaghetti or whatever. This poor woman, hungry, I don't know, just sat there and watched people make hot dogs and watch Padma take like tepid bites of her own hot dog. So what I think actually happened is I bet they were kind of scrambling to produce this segment and someone thought of it and she was an available vendor and was like, can you just promote me and my husband's name?
Why not?
Because did they even tell us where this hot dog cart is?
It's in Queens.
Queens, a truly gigantic landmass.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. The corner of Queens and Queens Boulevard.
I love to take the subway to Queens stop.
Yeah, I love that. I love going up to
stop into Queens.
Truly unhinged.
Yes.
Well, one of my favorite things was they said they sell 100 million a year, and one of the contestants guessed of cheesecake slices. That made me deeply concerned. I believe it was Melissa. I was really worried about her at that point.
And ultimately, she's not well. That's what I'll say. Like, she is not. She was not. Say again.
Is that Ariane or Jill?
I think it was Melissa or Jill, maybe. Melissa or Jill?
Melissa has a heavy bang, but Melissa and Jill are from the same bucket of chefs.
It's definitely not Ariane because she is my queen.
Yes, Melissa and Jill both they just kind of like have something going on. Like they're not fully present in the competition.
They don't have points of view and they're sort of just like really doggy paddling.
But I feel like they're thinking about something else. Like their mind is elsewhere. You know what I mean?
Thinking about math class while they're in Spanish class.
Yeah, or like I feel like they entered a new relationship like right before the show started, and then they had to go on the show.
And I can't believe like the iPhone had just been introduced to us at this point. Like they aren't distracted on their phone. Like they're just in their head.
And nor are they allowed phones, so it wouldn't even matter.
So what are they doing? Yeah, it's so interesting to live inside yourself like that.
Yeah.
But I digress. Let's move on to these dishes. So speaking of Jill, Jill made a dish that will haunt my dreams. It was a store-bought hot dog summer roll cooked in chili, soy sauce, and rice wine vinegar, rolled up in rice paper with some vegetables. That's a hot thumbs down for me. Deeply confusing, and they were pissed she didn't make her own wiener.
Listen, I gotta say, I'll try a hot dog in anything, I'll
Sure.
try it. I am sure that didn't taste good.
Yeah.
The thing when you make something like that and it's got a lot of like fresh vegetables, usually people just like straight up don't season those.
Yeah.
And that is so crazy to me. I'm like, do you think people who make like spring rolls and egg rolls like don't season the shit when they make it? That is wild.
Wild.
Next we have Radika, who makes a kebab style sausage with lamb with caramelized onions, cucumbers, and tomato jam. This looked incredible.
Yeah, it did look good. Looked good.
Oh,
My mom used to cut up hot dogs and put them in budgie, which is like a fried Indian appetizer, kind of like pakoda, and it was so good.
Right.
that sounds
Makes sense.
absolutely incredible. Daniel, who I can't believe
I thought, Caitlin, you were gonna say you like Daniel, and we do not like
exists.
Daniel.
Mm-mm-mm.
He's a little
No.
boy.
What I'll say is Top Chef season 5 Daniel would, to put it nicely, not like that I'm a lesbian, is the energy that I get from Daniel.
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah, no. I don't. Yeah.
bro.
He's the one that said that the Europeans were in his backyard, right?
Yes. And he says
Cool.
all sorts of weird, like he's like one of those chefs that'll make a comment about how someone looks and like, you know, make a little sexist joke and like, no.
Yeah, hard to believe that he exists, but he does. And he made a pork hot dog with horseradish, mustard, fried onions, and garlic powder. Okay, so I'm going to give this a thumbs down because even though this sounds good and I'm sure I would eat it, to list one of your ingredients as garlic powder
It's rough.
feels
Like putting
broken
salt on it.
Yeah, feels broken brain to me.
Right. I feel that.
Food brain, yeah.
Yeah, he's not well. Okay, Eugene made maki roll, sushi style hot dogs with pita bread, boursin cheese, and red onions.
Here's what I gotta say.
Yeah.
When it was just maki roll, again, my like hot dog budgie brain is like, yeah, I'll put a hot dog in anything. Cheese plus pita plus maki roll. I'm like, Eugene, we'll have a conversation.
It felt like a lot, and they never really commented on that one.
Yeah. You might not. That's another thing about Top Chef. You might not hear anything about it.
Yeah, hard to know. That being said, I will say, fuck Eureka. This sounds incredible to me. This sounds like something I would make if I was drunk. I probably have made it before. I always have these things in my fridge. I love boursin cheese and red onion. Like, I'm just like it.
But what about the maki roll?
It just looks like, here, look, hold on. Let me do a little zoom.
Eugene gets a buy with a lot of confidence. Like he believes in himself.
But he just is doing a little play on sushi.
Use an actual sushi roll?
No.
Wow,
Yeah,
I totally saw something incorrect because I would eat that. I thought it was an actual, and I was like, that is disgusting.
The idea of putting pita inside an actual sushi roll is upsetting. So I understand.
That's why I was like, ew.
I understand. I hear you. I hear you when I see you.
Beautiful, thank you.
Okay. Hosea made a pork hot dog with roasted poblanos, jalapenos, smoked bacon, and red vinegar.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Then Stefan made what he called like a hot dog of the world or something along those lines.
Bread from Italy, plate from China.
Yeah. So stupid. It was an Italian sausage on French bread with Wisconsin cheese and Irish tartar sauce. This was the lamest thing I've ever heard in my life.
It was rough. Tartar sauce. And I like it, but no.
Yeah. Why did you think that was okay? Okay. Carla or Queen made a lamb and pork sausage with sauerkraut and caramelized onions.
You could put caramelized onions on a toilet bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also screamed when I realized I'd been asked to watch a Carla episode.
Right? She's so fucking cool.
She's perfect.
Gossip Girl's own Carla Hall.
Is she on Gossip Girl?
Yes.
She has a season?
As
Yes.
who?
She played, so there's a character, Max, who's basically the new Chuck Bass, and she is his family's cook. He has 2 dads and 1 Carla Hall, the perfect family unit.
I'm dead.
Her name's Rocky. It's not Carla Hall.
Is she? So she's acting.
She's been in like 3 episodes and it's not like a lot. Like it's just interacting with that one character as the family cook. But oh yeah, Gossip Girls, Carla
Wow,
Hall.
that rules.
I'm obsessed. We have to watch Rika.
Let's do that.
She's in the first episode for sure.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
So you don't have to go far.
Thank God. Okay. I'm bookmarking that so we remember. Ariane made a chicken sausage with bacon, celery seed, garlic, and white pepper. I'm going to give it a thumbs down because I do not believe in white pepper.
I like white pepper. I think that sounds. This is one of the things I'm like, I would eat that. I don't think that's a top chef dish. I don't think she really did much to it.
No,
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think that people act like white pepper is better than black pepper. And I was always like, oh, there must be a culinary purpose. And they were like, well, it's just so you don't see the little black flecks. And I was like,
Is it
absolutely
really
not. That is what I had heard. As you know, iconically, I'm wrong a lot.
I
So-
have a little bit of a milder taste. Like I put in a lot of to quote Top Chef, Asian food. And liked how it went.
Love it.
Okay, I have to educate myself on white pepper and we'll talk about it for next week.
And I will admit, I too don't know anything.
No, but you know what I'll say? I am thinking about it in a lot of like American Eurocentric uses. Like when I read a recipe and someone's like, I'm making a bechamel, use white pepper. Like that I think is dumb. But I'm sure it has like global significance that I don't know about and I will learn about. Okay, Fabio made an andouille sausage with goat cheese, roasted bell peppers, and sun-dried tomatoes.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
I just have to say really quickly, one time I went to in order to get tickets to the Ellen show, I went to Bethany Frankel's talk show. It was like if you went to the Bethany Frankel show because they were trying to get people to go to it, you got put on a list to eventually get Ellen tickets. I ended up going to both. Going to Ellen absolutely sucked. It was so lame and awful. Going to the Bethany Frankel show absolutely slapped. The episode was unhinged. Everything she was doing was crazy. She gave us all like Visa gift cards for $100 and she had Fabio on the show and he made everybody toasted ravioli.
Oh my gosh.
That's delicious.
I don't know how our wonderful live stream nation here. I don't know where everyone lives. If you live in New York or you're visiting, always go to a taping of a daytime show. It is free and it is so fun. It is
Absolutely
crazy.
Yeah.
Show up drunk, show up haggard, just wear jewel tones and you're fine.
Absolutely. Yes. Can I ask Caitlin, what's the best one that you've been to?
People's Court.
Oh my God.
Wow, that's a fun one.
Absolute insanity. Everyone is screaming, laughing the whole time. How they edit it down to an arable show, I don't know. I'm talking the defendants, the judge, all of us. Oh, screaming with laughter at how stupid everything is. And we're all so glad we're here for either free or getting paid.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
That is so
if you want to go to People's Court, get on the list though, because there's People's Court Nation is out there, so you can't just show up. But the view is amazing.
Fun. I did Anderson Cooper's old talk show when it still existed, and I was on the episode where they brought on the all the toddlers and tiaras girls questions, or like girls, and I got to ask Honey Boo Boo's mom a question.
What'd you ask?
I was like, do you think it is warping your child's perception of their appearance by making them wear makeup at such a young age?
And what did she say? I'm sure it was a really good answer.
She was like, no, shut up, bitch. Like they didn't care.
Yeah. Do you perhaps think putting your slightly older than toddler child in the spotlight and commenting on her body all the time is damaging?
No, I don't think so. Oh, one thing I just should say, also Judge Meleon, who was the judge at the time I went. So they have to, like any television show, film pickups. So she'll come into the courtroom and then they'll just be like, we're going to do some shots from an episode from before. So she'll just yell at people that are not there.
That is so funny.
You're out of order.
So everyone is screaming, laughing already. And she doesn't care. She's like, yeah, who cares?
I love that. That's very fun. Good for them.
They do an FAQ. I think you can tell that every FAQ is just what's going on with Judge Wapner. And she's always like, he's a wonderful man. And they're all like, yes, we love it.
Wow.
That is very funny. Oh, okay. What a fun tangent. Okay. Jamie. Sorry. No. Never.
Sorry.
Please. No.
What we love.
The both of you.
No. We have to talk about Jamie's hot dog, a person I hate. Okay, Jamie makes a pork and beef sausage with bacon, onions, and cayenne pepper. Give me a thumbs down. This is boring to me.
It's fine. It's like whatever.
I forgot who Jamie is.
She's a lesbian.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
That's her. Like, she's a lesbian and she's mean. Those are like her two. She's not even mean. She's just like apathetic. And I
I was
hate
gonna
that.
say she has a particular type of personality that really rubs me the wrong way, which is
Yes.
nihilistic, like sort of like, well, nothing sort of matters. You're like, okay, like
Yes, Jamie.
yes.
Yeah, I literally hate her. But then that is the end of that.
Yeah.
Radika wins, which is awesome. We love her. And then also Stefan is at the bottom and he's like
Mm-hmm.
so angry about it, which is awesome. So all in all, this feels like a huge win for the show. Our show, personally.
Drives me crazy too when people like lose, especially someone like Stefan, that like, I'm not saying fake humility or anything, but he's just like, whatever, I don't give a shit. You're so insufferable.
Yes, absolutely. Someone's asking in the comment why I hate Jamie, and I do just want to reiterate, like, I think she's mean. I hate apathy, and I think she just doesn't seem like nice. And there's in both this season and another season that she's in, she just kind of like screws people over by not really caring about anyone but herself. Maybe she's absolutely incredible now.
I think she is one of those people that she is not Top Chef material a lot of the times. She is very much like, oh, I don't have to cook for this challenge. Like if I go last, cool, I'll do that kind of thing. She gives off that energy, which is like, hey, you have fun being on the show. It's okay.
Yeah.
And just like, don't be on it.
And also sometimes I'm like, I do think that people sign up for something like this thinking it will help their career. And then they're like, wait, I am not cut out for TV. And I understand that. I think on every franchise, you see people like that. Like, especially like, if you guys remember, I think his name was like Peter from Rachel's season of The Bachelor, where they were like so clearly in love. Does anyone remember what I'm talking about?
I didn't watch that season.
Not specifically, but
okay, he was just like really hot and they were super clearly in love, but it was so obvious like being on TV made him anxious. I think you see that on a lot of shows, but then Jamie comes back for another season of Top Chef. So I'm like, clearly you didn't not like being on TV. This is just like you.
I'm not a big Jamie fan, but one little sprinkle of defense. I do feel like she was like more just seemed like fine to be there when Team Rainbow was in full force. And I wonder if in 2009, just like not feeling like she had any queer allies, I don't know. You can still be nice to people, but when you see her hanging out with those other Richard and Patrick, she's like laughing and having a good time. And then the rest of the show, she's like, I hate everything.
That's fair.
Who knows? She is still kind of mean.
Yeah, Radika is an ally.
Yeah. And ultimately, that's kind of what I wanted to say to you, Jordan.
No, Radika, you're absolutely right. And I think I could be wrong about that. I've been talking about not having to be right all the time in therapy, and it feels like
Jordan, I'm literally never right.
That's not true.
Caitlin, is it okay if we kind of do therapy on this show?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, what makes you feel like you need to do that?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess it just stems from the fact that well,
probably something that happened to you in season 1.
Yeah. I pronounced a lot of words wrong.
Okay, on to the actual challenge, the elimination challenge. They are going into Craft, Tom Colicchio's restaurant, and they have to cook a meal, appetizer, entree, dessert. They all get placed into a certain group and have to cook that one dish for a group of people who tried out for Top Chef and didn't make it onto the show.
Woof.
It was weird.
I think that's a really tough challenge. You know, those people are gonna be pretty rude about it. But
they're produced to be really rude.
Like 100%.
Yes.
They only ask the absolute saltiest people in that room.
Just it didn't feel true to me in a way because again, I don't know if you guys watched the most recent season of Below Deck Sailing Yacht, but their last charter was other yachties, and they were like worried about it. And I thought that was silly. And then they were the nicest people because, of course, people that have done the thing are typically actually nicer. And I know it's like people that weren't picked, but it just didn't feel like if you're invested in the Top Chef brand and you want to get on the next season, you're going to be like, I thought it was good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because you'll see sometimes if you like really track it, like in season 10, you'll see some people that tried out for the show that didn't make it that then pop up in season 12 or whatever.
Totally.
Absolutely.
And like, I guess it's just so funny to me how early in reality shows this seemed watching it. Like sometimes just going into like the bumper, like Gail clearly does not know where she should be walking. She's just like looking at a director and like going until they yell cut. Like it's just so old. And like, I think even that idea of like, we're going to shoot the chefs that were cut. It's like, it doesn't exactly add what they think it's going to.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it did feel very produced. I think you're totally right. But it ultimately was the only kind of sauce on this challenge besides cooking in Tom's restaurant.
Right.
A big thing.
Yeah, Tom's like expediting for them, so he's watching all of them.
Yes.
Right. I think I tried to. Oh, I mean, our girl Carla just in it to really win it, not win this season of Top Chef, but win it because she says something like, "What an awesome experience being expedited by Tom Colicchio in his restaurant craft." And I was like, someone got her lines correct. Someone is on the chew. She's been cast on Gossip Girl. It's done.
Yes.
I was thinking about her earlier today, and she's an inspiration for so many reasons, but just like is such a clear example of what it looks like when you're just independently happy. And how it translates in your life into other spheres. Like, and I don't mean she's like happy because of her career success or happy because she has a family that she loves, just like holistically a happy person.
She's Carla.
She seems like she takes care of herself and she does things that she likes to do. She seems like she has a hobby outside of her job. It seems like her and her husband go on vacation. Like
you'll see, they're very cute.
They're so cute.
They're really cute.
They're so cute. I can't wait until later in the season. Okay, so for these dishes, Hosea made chilled crab with citrus vanilla dressing, mango, and avocado.
It's rough. Crab, that could be amazing, as we discussed the entire episode, but he didn't taste that crab. And I think that really got him down.
And it is the thing. I know it is hard to pivot once your mind is set on something. I do think if your thing that you were set on was a salad, you can pivot a protein. And if your thing is like, I'm Mr. Fish and I'm a big fish man, and you go to the store and they only have canned fish, I think as Mr. Fishman, you should know that's going to taste bad.
Mr.
And like
Fishman.
figure out something new. Yeah. Like figure it
felt
out.
Weird.
Yeah. I also, oh, sorry, Caitlin.
No, I love crab, but I have also ordered crab dishes where you're like, ooh, I'd take.
Yeah.
And it felt like that happened to him and he wasn't willing to see it.
Right.
Absolutely. I also don't love vanilla in a savory preparation. In the instances that I have had it, that is something that makes me feel like I need to go to the hospital.
Vanilla and lobster are supposed to be such a classic combination. And this is my like lack of seafood prowess. I'm like, I would just feel like I'm tasting ice cream or something.
Yes. I agree, Reka. Okay, Leah made Yukon potatoes with seared scallops, chives, and green peppercorns.
This is like what New American is. It's like potatoes.
Yeah, it's like food I'm not interested in.
Yeah, I would eat it, but it doesn't. It's again like they always ask you like, are you trying to make a dish to get by? Or are you trying to make a dish that wins? So it's like the best fucking potatoes, you know, if you're gonna make potatoes.
Yeah, I think for me it feels hard because they did comment on the fact that the scallops were sandy. And getting a little like grit in my food really puts me off because I've had so many of my fillings fall out and I've eaten them. So that's what I think is happening when I get a little grit in food and I don't like it. Makes me afraid. Makes me think I have to go to the dentist.
I agree. I feel like the dentally challenged, such that I am as well, are not represented in chef shows. I don't want to crunch on your crunch better taste amazing because I can't afford it. My tooth's
Absolutely.
gone.
Absolutely.
Stop.
Okay. Then we have Fabio, who made a beef carpaccio with arugula salad, parmesan, grilled lemon, and spherical olives.
Now you know I'm gonna try a little spherical olive.
Look
We
good.
love.
I think it's a little gimmicky and like
Sure.
goofy, but I'll eat it.
I liked it. Yeah. What's so wrong?
I think Amy Lee in the chat brought up a great point, which is like on this particular challenge, everyone got their exact team they wanted, which didn't help their complaining later.
Yes, because Amy is pointing out to this whole thing of like, we've talked about it before, folks. Like, I have to do a dessert. Well, I scooped some diarrhea out of the toilet, put some powdered sugar on it. That count as a dessert. And it's like, do you think it tastes good? You have a chef's palate, you know?
But
Like,
they didn't even have the chance in this one. They all actually chose their own.
yeah,
They did not draw straws. It was
Yeah.
like your call.
yes.
Yes, ultimately very, very strange. Also, Jamie in the appetizer round made a sweet corn soup with mint.
See, let me just hear your guys' thoughts on this. I thought, first of all, I would like that very much, but it was smart, but was it too smart? Because it didn't matter as much when it was going to be plated because she didn't need to fire it. It was a cult. So it was like, is that strategy or is that a weakness?
I think that is fine strategy to be like,
Okay.
we're going to be in a tight sitch. And maybe I'm crazy. I'm like, Jordan and I are big corn people.
Yeah.
I'm like, mint in my corn soup. I
could see it.
I would try it, but
Yeah, I would try it for
I don't
sure.
know if I need.
I'm intrigued.
I'm fine with mint in my corn soup. I would argue that it is not strategy. I would say if this was a challenge where they were like, who knows where you'll be and who knows what things you'll have and who knows what the cooking time is, I'd get someone being like, I'm going to make a cold soup to set myself up for success because I think that's part of the challenge is being smart. I think knowing you're going into craft for a plated sit-down service in a restaurant, I think going with the chilled soup that you don't have to fire is cowardly.
Okay.
Okay.
See, I was interested. I was interested in what in the tube. And I think the mint, I'm a big gazpacho fan. I'm a big chilled soup fan, which
I
people
love.
find me disgusting and try to commit me. And there's a lot of mints in those often. So to me, I'm bridging that gap. But yeah, there was something about it that I was like, is she being a team player so that the other appetizer people don't have to? I don't know. I wasn't sure how I felt about it.
No, she is not a team player.
I think as a data point, it's an interesting one because it's like the first data point that could point in either direction. Because for me, I didn't see it as cowardly necessarily. But what you will see later on will confirm what Jordan is saying.
Well, that's a word. Yes. I didn't think of it cowardly in that moment, but just if you're asking me if I think that that is like a good strategy or kind of like taking the easy way out, even with no context, even if it was someone other than Jamie, I do think it's a little bit taking the easy way out when there are so many challenges where you're not going to be able to fire something.
Fair.
Like, I'm kind of like, is now the time to use that? And for me, the answer is no. Okay. Melissa, Melissa needs Jesus. That's really all I can say for her. She's not okay. She makes a grilled avocado, just a half an avocado. She's put down on the grill. She tops it with white peaches, nectarines, and balsamic vinegar. And then from the image, it looked like there were slivered almonds poured on top of it.
This is something where it's very clear she doesn't have like a point of view. And like that is something I would make with like the stuff that's like left in my fridge before going out of town.
Yes.
It's just like random stuff this tastes fine together. Sure. It's what I have. I think it's an odd Top Chef dish.
I think it's very weird. I think it's very weird. Okay, so Jill, the other person who's kind of like floating out in space with Melissa, makes an ostrich egg quiche with rice, pecan crust, asparagus, and aged cheese.
Okay, this is what I'll say for that. She's not wrong as far as to go back to the new American menu. She's not wrong that that is like the correct description.
Okay,
Like, and if
okay.
she tried to win via description, you would see at this restaurant. She's not wrong.
She's not wrong. I do think it is a little like topsy-turvy minded to think that like using an ostrich egg is enough. To, like
No.
to sort of misdiagnose the judgment on the dish as like I thought using the ostrich egg was be creative, but I guess they didn't see that. I'm like, no, 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 no. One, you didn't have to use an ostrich egg. Two, you just have to prepare it well. It's if you prepared the ostrich egg well, that's a different story. It's not like they were like, this is too weird or out there. And the use of rice and pecan on a quiche crust makes ill. That is
Yes.
like something I'm a freak for weird, seedy crusts and breads and shit. Not with wet egg goo.
Yes. Reika and I try to save the hot goss for the show, but we could not help but text today when watching this episode. The idea of eating a pecan with an egg, I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Pecan with like a probably seasoned garlicky ostrich egg and rice.
And asparagus, I don't know. It's just not okay. Reika and I were not okay with this dish.
There's a lot of things.
And it looked like
No.
pie. It looked like just like that oaty crust on like a experimental pie that I would make out of the shit I have left over in my home.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was upsetting.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, so Eugene made an open-faced meatloaf sandwich on ciabatta with Gouda fondue and portobello ragu. This sounds bomb to me.
Eugene seems to know what's up.
Yeah.
I don't think Eugene's going to win this competition, but I think I want Eugene to feed me, is what I feel like.
I think Eugene is someone who is a good chef and is kind of like settled in his point of view on stuff and is just not necessarily made for like, here's a cookie challenge. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good chef. Like, and he doesn't need to be on a TV show.
Yeah.
Well, if I did do the homework and watched the episode 1, he was the one that said he'd never had Indian food before.
He never made it. I also misremembered. I was like,
Okay.
I think he had never made it, but he's the only one that tasted it and tried to make it as opposed to just kind of guessing.
Got it. But nonetheless, he is one of those people that will just go to the judges and be like, here's my faults. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And he's still like
Absolutely.
almost won, but
That's
like because of natural talent, but he doesn't have a natural show talent.
Yeah, totally.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess I fucked up because I don't know anything about that thing you said and I didn't look it up.
No interest. Never had an interest, never will. Is it part of cooking? Not familiar. Anyway, here's something I accidentally did brilliantly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very funny.
Stefan made a pan-seared halibut with microgreens, ravioli, champagne sauce, and dill oil. Also, the plate is absolutely covered in foam, which is not explained. But I am so back and forth with this because I love a pan-seared halibut. I love a ravioli. It's also kind of boring to me, and I don't like all this foam.
Well, I'm questioning foam on top of
Sauce?
ravioli and foam on top of sauce. I'm questioning ravioli with salmon, and so I'm iffy. I mean, I'll take bites of that ravioli off someone else's plate
Okay.
at mess hall where we're eating it. Or
We're sharing.
Yeah, it's family style. Okay, Jeff made southern chicken with honey mustard and a chorizo corn spoon bread. My mouth waters.
I'm not a big Jeff fan, but I like
Chicken.
chicken.
What'd you say?
Jeff.
I said I'm not a big Jeff fan, but
I thought you said I'm not a big duck fan.
I
was
was like, yeah, it is. I'm not a big Jeff fan. Chicken.
I think that I'm not a big duck fan, and I was like, oh, it's not duck, it's chicken.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and also Jeff is still in a relationship with a contestant that's on a different season.
This is a scandal in Belgravia. He worked with somebody who's in season 10 or something, and named Janine, and it is a little iffy on the details, but the story is had an affair with her because he has a wife and a baby, and now him and Janine are married and together and have their own kids
And restaurant.
now. The wife, that is what Jeff's ex-wife says. I think he says like we were separated, like it wasn't, an affair per se.
What goes on with chefs and all these affairs?
Yeah.
It seems higher than even actors.
I don't know why they're so horny and not tired. Having worked briefly in a kitchen, I'm like, wait, how do you even have the will to speak to another person? Just go home and go to bed.
Janine is, I think worked under him at that restaurant and is like a touch young. I don't know.
Well, I'm just coming off psychotically watching on YouTube the Martha Stewart Apprentice from 400 years ago with Bethany Frankel. And, Bethany has her own issues as we've addressed already, but fellow chef is on it. Marcella Valladolid, people who have better pronunciation can speak to that. She was on Best Baker in America. And since then, she's also become more famous as a chef. And then she had an affair with the guy from American Baking Competition. And it's just like, what?
I mean, I guess it's like you realize, oh, I've only met the people that I've met. And now you have this big wide world of people that you get the fancy treatment, rock star treatment.
I guess that's all it is. It is the same thing. It's like the rock star treatment. There's something so funny and detailed about it when it's chefs and you see it's other chefs. And it's not funny to me when it's rock stars with other rock stars, but something's up.
Yeah. 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 So that's Jeff.
Yeah. We'll see that unfold. You call him the hair?
Well, he says like, he's the guy that's like, I have them check my hair. In
the opening credits, his whole thing is going, and then he gets a little teeth blend.
Oh, okay. He's the sexy one.
Yeah.
Alex makes a pork tenderloin over potatoes with mushroom, tomato, and red beet demi-glace.
It's okay. I'm here for beets.
Yeah, but mushroom, tomato, and beets all together.
That's a lot.
You gotta take that tomato out of there.
Yes, I knew you'd feel that way, Rika. Okay, now something really shocking happens. Radika makes an avocado mousse with chocolate wontons and a chocolate milk Kahlua shot. And all of the judges absolutely ream her about the fact that she makes an avocado mousse. And I'm like, first of all, isn't that a thing all over the world? And second of all, avocado mousse and avocado ice cream is like the thing, I would say like 4 years ago from now. So in the future from then.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say a few things. One, I think this is a strange dessert when you kind of have carte blanche to do whatever you want and you have immunity. I think it's goofy. I love putting avocado in like a chocolate situation and making it like extra thick and creamy that way. She did not appear to put chocolate or anything. It was like straight avocado, which is fine. I love avocado ice cream, but I think you got to lean into that like cream sweetness flavor. It didn't look super great. It looked really it looked like just like kind of blended avocado because ideally it shouldn't. Gail said it tastes like sweet guacamole. It should not taste like sweet guacamole.
But why does it taste like guacamole? Is there lime in it? Is there onion in it? Is there cilantro in it? No.
And I think it's a goofy dessert.
I like it. The idea of dipping one of those chocolate wontons in the sweet avocado mousse, that looked good to me. I'm sorry. And the fact that they were like, well, of course she has elimination. She is not going to get eliminated. She makes she made an avocado mousse. I'm like, that's a thing.
I love avocado.
It was definitely weird the way Gail like acted like either she'd never heard of it or couldn't even imagine it. And that's either is weird.
But Padma did it too. It was both of them.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting observing food trends because nobody would scoff at that now.
Yes, absolutely.
What LA people do.
Absolutely. Okay. Then Daniel made a ricotta pound cake with toasted pistachios and a strawberry lemon coulis. I hate to say it, but
I had to say I would eat that.
I love this. I love a pistachio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then Ariane made a lemon meringue martini with vanilla cookie crunch and cherry surprise.
You say cherry
No, but
surprise me, and I'm running.
but this is why, to get into it, why I found her so charming in this episode, though so ultimately horrible. Like, it's so funny that she knows it's bad, but like just doesn't. She's just like, I knew it was too sweet, but like, what was I going to do? Make it again? Like, yes, but she was just like, absolutely not. Who has the time?
Well, and like it just drives me crazy. I'm a big dessert person where people act like just
Yes,
because they're not dessert people, they cannot possibly conceive of what
correct.
go together. I'm like, yo, lemon meringue is already pretty sweet. You do not need to be fucking adding cherries to that. That is out of control to me. That
And why would she add voluntarily that this is something that she does at her restaurant? This counts against her in two ways. One, she should already be good at it. Two, why is she advertising that her restaurant does bad food?
Yes.
But I truly took it as a missed opportunity, an absolute audition tape for Real Houses of New Jersey that just someone still has the opportunity to pick up, because her face looks exactly like Melissa Gorga and Teresa Giudice's cousin, Kathy Wakili, who was on for a few seasons, who is also a pastry chef. And I'm like, get this woman on. Like, she's ready. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, not as a Top Chef contestant, but just her aura of just being like, I tried half of one thing. I gave up immediately. What else do you want?
I will say in all of the seasons of Top Chef, I've definitely seen them not like eat something because maybe it was like a quick fire and the egg didn't have time to set or something. I can only recall 2 times where someone has spit something out. And this is
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yes. The other one is in the next season.
Ooh. Yeah, no, I'm sure it was bad because she knew it was bad. Like there, and she knew it was bad live. It's easy for them in their interviews to like act like they knew, but in the kitchen, she knew it was bad. But she still was like, I could care less.
And she's yelling at everyone.
She asked everyone, and they're like, I think it's too sweet.
And she still keeps yelling. She's like, be honest with me. And they're like,
be real.
Yeah. They're like,
it's like, no. I mean, and what I love about Top Chef and also Project Runway is they're largely gracious and um giving to each other. Like, they aren't like cutthroat, but it's like, it's also not my job to like overwhelmingly babysit you on this. Like, I can tell you it's too sweet. You just have to move on with your life. But you're my competitor. And it was also hilarious in the first one where she almost gets cut and they're like, you're from New Jersey, you could just drive to New York. She's like, she has this look like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
What don't you understand about I want to live my life? She acts like she was drafted for this competition, which I love.
Yes. That is very funny. Okay, Richard made a sandwich of banana nut bread, peanut butter, and banana brulee with grape gelato.
Now, you know I'm going to eat the shit out of that. Do I think that's kind of an odd dessert for this?
Rika, come here. Rika, come here. Come here. Come here.
Uh-oh.
Shut up, Rika. Shut up. Grape gelato?
I would eat the shit out of that. I would eat
Hubba.
that. I think it's a little silly and whimsical, but I think that's his whole bag. I was like, did he make that bread?
I think so.
Okay, good.
This looks good to me. This is what New American should be, even though I still don't really want to eat it in general. Like, I wouldn't go to this restaurant, but this makes more sense to me. It's like taking something that's like, you know, they were like, this tastes like an after school snack, but now it's like a fancy dessert with like gelato in it. I'm like, yeah, that I get that. That makes sense to me.
Yes.
I
just said beautiful.
I thought you said duck again. Okay, and then Carla ends the show by making a rustic apple tart with ginger peach tea, apple cider reduction, and cheddar cheese. My only thing, I wish she had worked that cheddar cheese into the crust, or like sprinkled it on the top and then like broiled it.
I'm not totally sure why she didn't just like in the last 5 minutes of it cooking, just like shred it on top.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Or even honestly, even just like putting the wedge inside of it so that it's not just like on the side.
Yeah.
But I thought that looked awesome, and clearly it was.
Yeah. So the winner is, oh my gosh, I just exited out on accident. The winner is Fabio for his incredible spherical olives. Everyone freaks. And Jill goes home for her ostrich pecan nightmare.
Your ostrich
Oh,
pecan.
Jill.
Beautiful. Well, Caitlin, we like to sometimes ask like what you would have cooked for this challenge.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Keep in mind, it's New American and the people eating your food are bitchy.
You know, someone did this, right? But no, wait, I'm getting confused with the last episode. But I think like sliders, first of all, you can put them on a rectangular plate, which is, you know, forefront of my mind important.
Yes.
They can be actually good, but they can also trick people who don't really know what's good into thinking they're good. So that's a twofer. So maybe I do like a crab cake slider with a
Ooh.
jalapeno mayo, some sort of bread that I haven't thought of yet, but I'll think of it later in this quickfire.
I love that.
I truly love that.
You know what it is? It's like a King's Hawaiian bread. That's what
I
it
was
is.
just gonna say King's Hawaiian, but I've never had crab, so I didn't want to push that on you. Okay.
And that's a lot of sweetness, so I'm gonna have to. The mayo's gonna have to be really spicy, but
I
can do
love
it.
that. That sounds incredible.
And Caitlin, if you want to follow your work, where can they find you?
You know, you can find my podcast at We Stand Social. We're on all of the social medias that exist, that we know of. I'll put it right here in the chat, and you can follow me at Caterade on Sims. You know, all of the things. If you like talking about Bravo and other, you know, BS, we're talking about it.
Hell yeah.
It's a great.
And you can find
podcast.
episodes with your dear host, Rika and Jordan, as well as chat member Rachel Chapman. So there's something for everyone.
Oh my
I
God.
love that.
Caitlin, this is so crazy. There's a Bravo producer here.
What are they saying, Rico?
Oh my God, what?
Oh my God. Wow, really? This hasn't happened before. Okay. Caitlin, Bravo producer just told me to tell you you are a top chef.
Makes sense though.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know
Things-
this, but there are two ways to become a top chef. One is to compete on the reality cooking TV show on Bravo, Top Chef, and win. And the other is to be a guest on this live stream YouTube weekly show for charity, starring me and Reka, called Talk Chef.
I figured there was a loophole. It just didn't add up.
No, see, people don't think about the loophole being a live stream for charity. That's the thing.
Yeah, it's the for charity part that people don't see. They're like, it has to be for profit. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't.
Minty, either way, too, an Indian woman's going to tell you you're top chef. And that's kind of what
that's what makes it important to me. And that's why I don't acknowledge season one.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. None of us do.
Katie Lee Joel, author of
Groundswell.
I almost said Windswell.
I can't believe you forgot. I simply can't believe.
Well, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining us. And guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Come back next week for episode 3 of season 5.
I started watching it already.